This week on WFA Reborn, the WFA Tag Team Championships are on the line as Brick City is challenged by Brandon Locke and Miguel Rios. And our main event has WWE ID Superstar, the Dimepiece Aaron Rourke, going one-on-one with world-class Channing Thomas. Let's not waste any more time, let's get to it. Fantastic card we have lined up for you here tonight, and we are kicking things off with a bang. The real deal Brandon Locke has injected a dose of poison into WFA. Yes, a poison into WFA. You see the numbers adding up. Miguel Rios, Cam Pierce, Dope and Filthy. Brandon Locke's gripes with management, all because he couldn't capture the WFA Heavyweight Championship, has turned into an infection here in the WFA as he points all of the blame at WFA owner, the Factor Scott Reed. Now, this is the first time Miguel Rios and Brandon Locke have ever teamed up to my knowledge. However, the Real Deal has held tag team gold in the past, and ironically, his partner at the time was Scott Reed. Now, it looks like the Real Deal's got something to say, something to get off his chest. No surprise anymore at this point.
If this wasn't the biggest gathering of pieces of trash I've ever seen!
Oh, come on now. Totally abandoning the fans who used to love and respect and admire this man.
I've seen you guys somewhere before. Definitely this guy right here. I think he bring me at Walmart. Shut up, guys!
Harassing the audience.
You wish you were in Guerrero.
He's got something much more important to say, I'm sure.
What stands before you here is the Real Deal Nation.
There you have it. The Real Deal Nation. And like I said, these numbers keep growing. More and more people are lining with Brandon Locke in the locker room. The man having control over some of the wrestlers. Locke's got to get his mind focused here. He's got a tag team championship match. He's already failed at the heavyweight championship.
You see, 15 years. 15 years. Scott Reed and I have been in this business together. But Scott, here's one thing that you forgot. You could never lace my boots in the last 15 years.
That's some big words.
Scott, you look at the poster that said pro wrestling at the very bottom. At the very bottom, it said many more. And that was your spot on the card. You were never the main event player, and you never will be. Neither are you.
Scott Reed has a great resume.
WFA today, it makes me sick.
You make me sick.
I'd rather pay you draw the biggest pieces of it. Oh.
Brandon Locke's really got to watch himself here.
See, I was going to say something really bad, but I don't want to offend you guys.
Because you can't spell it.
So here's the thing. Scott Reed. You are not WFA.
He's really got to get his mind in the game here. He's not wrestling Scott Reed tonight. He's wrestling Brick City.
Scott Reed. You have never bled for WFA.
Well, the man was in Dragon Gate USA. The man was wrestling all over the world. Scott Reed, world renowned. I don't know what Brandon Locke's trying to do, but maybe just get under the skin of Reed. This crowd absolutely eating Brandon Locke alive here, not letting him get a word in.
The real deal.
This has gotten so personal. Brandon Locke was obsessed with championship gold in WFA, but now seemingly obsessed with Scott Reed as the tag team champions now looking to make their way here to the ring. Brick City, all about big business here in the WFA. Ever since they've stepped foot in that locker room, they have proven their worth and taken over the tag team division. Their cohesiveness, their continuity, their competitive spirit make them one of the great tag teams on the scene here today. Very worthy of the tag team gold they hold in their hands. And as good as Brandon Locke and Miguel Rios are as single competitors, they're going to have to really come up with a solid game plan to overcome the duo here of Julio Cruz and Victor Chase. And the odd pairing of Brandon Locke and Miguel Rios, they've never teamed up before to my knowledge. But this is perhaps more of a business deal than a mutual relationship. These guys aren't exchanging Christmas cards this year. They both want that heavyweight championship. They both feel wronged by management. These are two selfish egos working together long enough just to burn the house down. They didn't bond over respect or admiration. It's just a bond built out of bitterness, it seems. They think management's playing favorites. This is about making a statement tonight. They're going to have to work hard to do it against the likes of Brick City. Brandon Locke sizing up Cruz here, and a boot to the midsection, unsportsmanlike. And now a right hand, which is against the rules, ladies and gentlemen, a closed fist. Brandon Locke, effective nonetheless in rocking Cruz early in this thing to get that early advantage. Whether or not they can keep him up, we're going to see if this team can work together well as Miguel Rios gets tagged in. Locke sending Cruz to the corner. Miguel coming in. Oh, it's a knife edge chop. And showboating from Rios, and he's going to pay for it there as Cruz returns the favor, sending Miguel Rios hard to the mats. Off the ropes. Rios back up and look for a leapfrog, caught in the clutches of Cruz. And what's he got planned here? Big business all the time. Slam it. Miguel Rios hard down to the mat. Now Cruz again shooting off the ropes here to the far side and splashing down on Rios. Going for an early cover. We got the count, and just the one is all he's going to get. Rios is a formidable athlete. He has challenged for the heavyweight championship. Not successful as of yet, but the man can hold his own against anyone and everyone here in the WFA. Victor Chase tagged in now. Oh, beautiful. Double Japanese arm drag. And now Brick City, we're seeing the tag team coordination here. Double elbow drop. We got a cover from Chase, and Miguel Rios still again kicking out at 1, showing that it's going to take a lot more to keep these guys down. I know the shortcut there with the charge buster. It is effective. Now he's walking in a front headlock here. Looks like he's going to send Victor Chase for the ride, but Chase having none of it. Positioning himself to regain control, spinning out. Firing back with an open hand as opposed to that closed hand earlier from Brandon Locke. Oh, Miguel Rios cowering out of that exchange. And it's going to cost him big time because it looks like Chase has some big plans. He is up, and he... Fantastic show of strength here, sending Rios again for a ride. Beautiful suplex with the stall, and Rios still kicking out at 1. Impressive there. Blood rushing to the brain. Rios has got to be very disoriented after that, as Julio Cruz again, Brick City with the quick tags, showing their tag team prowess, and double shoulder tackle there. Rios getting grounded by this tag team. And you see Rios and Locke struggling with the rules of a tag team match. When you're singles competitors, it's a totally different story stepping into tag teams. And especially when you're stepping in there with the tag team champions. And look, Brandon Locke eating up some shots as well as he got tagged in finally. Rios catching a bit of a break, but Locke not getting much of a break here in the ring right now. Reverse Irish whip. Oh, Rios with the shortcut. He got a knee, and that's all it took. Locke. Oh. Driving Cruz down, cover. Oh, but Cruz kicking out as well. And Locke keeping the heat on him now, working at the neck, jaw. And of course they have the numbers game. You see on the outside, Dope and Filthy and Cam Pierce, 2 trainees straight out of the Elite Pro Wrestling Training Center, trained by Scott Reed. Brandon Locke has gotten into their heads and has convinced them that Scott Reed is not looking out for them, but in fact joining this real deal nation, as Brandon Locke called them, is the right move for their careers. And I beg to differ, but I guess time will tell as Cruz gets shot right into the corner there. Show of strength there from the very physically impressive Brandon Locke. And Cruz looking to make the tag here. He's got the opening on his back, just shocked with pain after he got sent into that turnbuckle. And you see Brandon Locke cutting off Brick City for making the tag, keeping Julio Cruz in there. Let's see if he can get some more damage done. Oh, there it is. That'll do it. Back elbow to the jaw, cover count. We got a 2. Got to keep that sort of pressure on if you want to win the tag team titles here tonight. And a tag to Rios now, who seems like he's back on his feet. Taking it to Cruz there with a couple of shots. Miguel Rios. Now with these numbers, maybe his chance to prove himself a little more here. Oh! Got the big man Cruz up with the suplex there. Cruz with a lot of mass. Miguel impressively shooting him over there. Cruz tried getting a shot in, but Miguel Larson in charge, having none of it. Now sending Cruz into the ropes, choking the life out of him there. And with the opening, that's all it's going to take. Dope and Filthy taking a shot while he's got it. Referee distracted, and now Victor Chase not helping matters by distracting the official, allowing Locke and Rios to take advantage of this situation, breaking any and every rule they can. Back in charge, Locke back in the ring. Arguing with the official, though, wasting some valuable time. Rios got to get back out onto that apron now. There we go, referee maintaining order. And Locke driving Cruz down as Cruz seems to be in a lot of trouble, desperately reaching for the tag, but just a little bit too far away. Locke again, another body slam. The back seems to really be bothering Julio Cruz. That whip to the turnbuckle definitely did some damage a little earlier. And Cruz is in for a world of hurt here. And oh, look at here with the mind games. Miguel distracting the official. Oh, looks like they're going to try to make the tag here. Julio Cruz inching towards, trying to force the body over of Brandon Locke, but Brandon had that scouted and brings Julio Cruz back to the center. But creating some distance. Oh, never mind. He just closed that distance in a hurry with a lariat, taking the head off the shoulders of Cruz, who gets the shoulder up after a 2 count. Impressive. They weren't off to a hot start, but man, Brandon Locke and Miguel Rios have taken and picked apart Julio Cruz here in this tag team matchup. Mentioned earlier, Locke with some tag team experience in his repertoire over the course of his 15 years in the industry. And now Julio Cruz not looking so hot. Another shot to the buckle, which is what did the damage initially. And oh, speaking of damage, Brandon Locke just ate a shoulder full of steel. And we see the numbers now. Dope and Filthy, Cam Pierce, Miguel Rios, 4-on-1 scenario. Miguel Rios getting some shots in as well here before going back to the corner. And now, both men down. Julio Cruz taking so much damage, but Brandon Locke eating that steel in the corner. He needs to desperately make a tag and get some feeling back into that arm. Both men reaching. Locke gets the tag, but Brick City still inches away, and Miguel Rios, look at that, pulling Julio once again away from his partner. But it didn't work. Here comes Victor Chase. The man means business. He means big business as he levels Rios again and again off the ropes. What's he got planned here? Shooting him to the different side, and oh my goodness, slams him down. Victor Chase has been biting, waiting for this moment to get back in there. Fired up as ever. Sizing up Rios. Oh my goodness, what a kick. Picking up Rios once again. Oh my goodness, the driver. 1, 2. Oh, Locke, I thought that was it. A second away from retaining the gold, but Brandon Locke getting in there. The man is the real deal when it comes to in-ring competition. His attitude might say likewise, though. Back and forth, Rios and Locke playing to the numbers. This neck breaker there to Chase. Rios coming off and a low drop kick. And we got a cover. Is that enough to put away? No. Julio Cruz able to get in there and break it up once again. The eternal struggle of a tag team match. You have to have those eyes in the back of your head, always looking out for the competition to see if you can walk away with the victory. But oh, there we go. Miguel Rios and Brandon Locke accidentally colliding. Brick City. Talk about eyes in the back of their head. Those are tag team instincts. And Brick City, absolutely the finishing touches. Seal the deal. Still tag team champions. Despite the number games, despite the 2-on-1, despite the damage sustained by Julio Cruz, somehow, someway, Brick City still your WFA Tag Team Champions. And this Real Deal Nation, this posse, this alliance has got to be beside themselves. They thought this was their moment to get one up on management. And now more pointing of the fingers, more blaming from Brandon Locke. When will this man take some accountability for his own actions? They were outmatched by the more experienced team. It's okay to take an L, regroup, refocus, and come back with a new game plan next time. But instead, Brandon Locke having none of it. And wait a minute there, he's got his hands on the official now. Go on, Brandon, you haven't stooped this low, have you? But apparently he has. The Real Deal Nation now has their hands on the official, tying him up, nowhere to go. We've got to get some help out here. We got to get somebody out here to break this up. This is absolutely ludicrous that he would take it this far, just a simple loss. And Brandon Locke has a steel chair. Come on now. Somebody, please, come on. Somebody get out here. Thankfully, somebody has stepped up. There's Scott Reed. Scott Reed being forced to save the day. You see Reed carrying that bat with the word mofo. That's his trainer, Steve Bradley's iconic bat. He carries that with pride. It's quite the equalizer as there's a stare down. And it looks like we were going to play the numbers game, but Brick City, look at this. Not for long. Great to see them coming to the aid of Scott Reed. And Cam Pierce going for a ride. Scott Reed, Brick City. It looks like Cam Pierce taking one more trip. Good night. Let me tell you, man, Scott Reed, Brandon Locke, 15 years have come to this.
Listen, Brandon, you may not like it, but I'm still the owner and general manager of this company.
That he is.
So, Brandon, you want to talk all this crap, right? Well, now it's put up or shut up. Let's go! For you. Let's go! It's just a number.
What's going on here?
Right here, Concord, New Hampshire, February 28th, and Daily Desire. Brandon, it's going to be you. And anybody else who's ballsy enough to team with you. I'll team with them. Against Brick City. He's got me. And me.
There we go. The challenge has been laid out. The first time Scott Reed and Brandon Locke can lock horns, and it's going to be in a 6-man tag team match. Cannot wait for that one. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Man, 15 years coming to a boil here. And the Real Deal Nation is going to have to figure out their numbers, as they have a tall task ahead of them. Scott Reed and Brick City are no joke. What a matchup that's gonna be. Look at the eyes of Brandon Locke. Fixated on Scott Reed, and Reed not backing down from a challenge. Trying to play it cool, but at the end of the day, this is professional wrestling, and sometimes things are best settled in the ring. And perhaps these men need some much-needed closure. Folks, if you want to catch us live, there's only one way to do it. Check us out on WFAWrestling.com, follow us on social media, and check this out. It's main event time, ladies and gentlemen. This young man has a tremendous upside to him, winning championships up north in Canada, very active on the Northeast scene, a phenomenal talent, world-class Channing Thomas. You're going to want to remember that name because there are big things in his future. Great to see him back here in the WFA. He is going to be a formidable addition to the roster. Let's talk about next week for a second, ladies and gentlemen. Next week, WFA Heavyweight Championship on the line. Our heavy metalweight champion, Mosh Pit, defending the title against the winner of the 20-man over-the-top Yankee swap, Diego Alvarez. Thomas getting a little bit of help with his robe, perhaps reluctantly. Such a throwback competitor. It's going to be interesting to see how he fares against his opponent tonight. One of the new favorites here in the Wrestling Federation of America. Thomas, though, not looking to be a favorite, just looking to rack up some victories and get closer and closer to having another championship around his waist. As we now await his opponent, making waves across North America. WWE ID Superstar. The man is agile, he's charismatic, entertaining, but very successful. When the biggest wrestling company in the world takes notice and signs you to a contract, you know he's legit. The Dimepiece, Aaron Rourke. Listen to that response, ladies and gentlemen. A top competitor, another viable contender for the WFA Heavyweight Championship. And this is going to be an exciting contest. I speak a lot of contrasting styles. These two will epitomize that tonight. Channing Thomas is meticulous, calculated, and deliberate. Rourke, on the other hand, is a little flashier, likes to take risks. He moves at a quicker pace. So the opening minutes of this matchup may be the most important. Who's going to gain that early advantage and dictate the pace of this contest? Rourke having a little fun with the audience here. A little bit of showboating, a little bit of tit for tat perhaps. The crowd absolutely loves Aaron Rourke, and rightfully so. One of the most promising young men here in the Northeast. And Thomas ready to get down to business. The bell rings. We are underway here in our main event tonight. Cannot wait to catch out next week's main event, the Heavyweight Championship match. Mosh Pit, such a successful defending champion, looks to take on Diego Alvarez, who has earned his shot, rightfully defeating 19 other men in that Yankee swap over the top battle royal. And Thomas, look at that, knee to the midsection. I mentioned earlier about taking advantage early in this matchup. Hopefully that works out for Thomas here in this scenario as he has a side headlock applied. Rourke, though, backing him up to the ropes, coming off, and shoulder tackle there from world-class Channing Thomas, who's eating up the moment. Now to the far side of the ropes, coming off. Rourke leapfrogging right over. Hitting the ropes as well, and flying head scissors takedown. Sending Thomas to the mat. Rourke now back in charge. And Thomas really got rocked there. Fixated on his nose. Maybe some damage was done there. Oh, knife edge chop from Rourke. And it's fun to woo on those knife edge chops. What it does is that stinging sensation takes you mentally out of the game. You see Thomas getting taken more out of the game there. But the thud from those thick hands caving your chest in, it wins you. It takes you out of your element. That's why it's used so often in pro wrestling. It's a quick way to gain or maintain control, just like that boot did. And for some very important seconds in the opening minutes of this contest. Whoa, great flexibility and athleticism there on Rourke. Backflipping and then dropping Thomas with a drop kick. Who didn't see it coming whatsoever. Rourke now measuring up perhaps Channing Thomas. What's he got planned here? Again, the athleticism and a double knife edge chop. just to cement his dominance now, going for a cover, but all he's going to get is a 1 count off of that exchange there. Thomas writhing in pain on the mat as Rourke now looks to be going for that figure 4 leg lock he likes to use. Oh, but Channing Thomas, a student of the game, had that one well scouted as Rourke is in the corner. Plants Thomas in there as well, looking for the same move, but Thomas had it scouted and drills Aaron Rourke with a nice clothesline. And the complexion of this thing changed quickly. Oh, loving shots in the corner now from Thomas, bringing a little more aggression, showing some athleticism of himself. Oh, created some distance so he could sprint right into that clothesline in the corner, and now a classic neck breaker. Let me tell you, a win over Aaron Rourke for Channing Thomas would do wonders for the man's career. You know the suits are watching this one. Always scouting that WWE ID talent and how they fare in the rest of the world with the rest of this independent talent. And let me tell you, Wrestling Federation of America has a long list of talent worth looking at. But Channing Thomas, so young, so put together. You gotta believe he's high on the list. And a win over Aaron Rourke would put him just that much higher. So locks in Rourke now, looking perhaps for a pile driver. No, Rourke having it scouted right back into the scenario here, looking for that figure 4. But again, Channing Thomas having it scouted, sending Rourke quickly to the outside. Looking to get in here, Rourke. Nice shoulder tackle to the midsection. Create a little bit of time here for him. Up and over. Thought he was going. No, instead off the ropes. And paying for it with the atomic drop. And Thomas now slamming Rourke down, back in control. Now time for a cover here. Referee in position, watching the shoulders, and Rourke able to kick out of that one at 2. And you see Rourke there, the neck. Aaron Rourke's neck really seems to be bothering him after that neck breaker. Channing's offense has been mostly on the back, but Rourke's really favoring his neck. I don't know if he got a stinger from taking a hit or if it's the wear and tear of the schedule of a WWE ID Superstar. They're on Tubi on Wednesdays. They're wrestling all over the country now. Our more grueling schedule means fighting through nagging injuries rather than taking the time to let them heal. And Thomas has him on the ropes there in a lot of trouble. You got to wonder if that schedule, if being a WWE ID Superstar could be the deciding factor in this matchup. It's the wear and tear of more matches. More high-tier opponents does its damage. And speaking of damage, Rourke eating 2 elbows now from world-class Channing Thomas. But hitting him with 1 more. That could be it, ladies and gentlemen. Cover, count. No, Rourke able to kick out once again, using his whole body there to thrust the shoulders up off the mat. And Thomas again, keeping things deliberate and slow, so he is in full control. He knows that he can't outrun Aaron Rourke. So he's going to keep him grounded. And so far, it is working. More damage to the neck and back area, which has been Thomas's focus. It is paying off. Thomas, though, letting the crowd kind of get to his head here, losing control of the submission, and Rourke finding the opening. No, instead getting an elbow for his troubles to the head. But Rourke not giving up, bringing the fight, sending Thomas into the corner, wedging him against that turnbuckle, but not able to capitalize. And Thomas instead, again, all it takes a couple clubbing blows to that already injured back area. And now Thomas, what's he got planned here? Rourke, though, look at that. Not giving up, not letting up. Continuing to bring the fight, and look at that. Tripped him up, leg exposed, and bringing down on the boot to the hamstring of Channing Thomas. Looks like he weakened him there. And that'll slow down Thomas a little bit more, which could give Rourke the opening as we see him kick now the head of world-class Channing Thomas. The Dimepiece, digging deep, trying to find an opening here, trying to gain some momentum, comes crashing in, but Thomas again answering with the back elbow. That's the opening he needed, ladies and gentlemen. Aaron Rourke sizing him up, and the Rana from the top rope. And Aaron Rourke is feeling it now. That's all he needed. Amped up and squashing him in the corner with that hip attack. And now looking to climb up top. Springboard, splash, cover, count. No, Channing Thomas able to kick out. And Rourke is in a lot of trouble here. He has momentum on his side. The damage has been done, but Rourke fighting through the pain, fighting through the adversity, trying to score the victory here in the WFA. Channing Thomas again. Great back and forth action, ladies and gentlemen, in this thing. And now, let's see, again, they're trying to hook that leg. Thomas, though, doesn't want to give it up. He already suffered substantial damage from that one shot from Rourke. And he knows exactly what Aaron Rourke is going for, and that figure four. No, Thomas, again. Let me tell you, man, Channing Thomas has Rourke well scouted. He sees that figure four coming and does absolutely everything in his power to avoid it, counter it, escape it. Very impressive. But Rourke not letting up from strategy, but it could cost him right here. We got to cover. 1, 2, shoulders are down now. Rourke able to again kick out. Coming in, oh my goodness. Just ate the knee to the face there. Devastating. And I think Rourke just got clocked. Channing Thomas up. He's been looking for this the whole match. No, look at that counter. Had the pile driver scouted. Back to the center of the ring, and it looks like he's got it locked in this time, ladies and gentlemen. He's got the figure four. He just needs to, there it is. Locked in now. Channing Thomas in a world of trouble. This usually does it for Rourke's opponents. Has he done enough damage to force a submission? Channing Thomas not tapping out yet. Rourke doing his absolute best here to apply pressure. Oh, there we go. That'll do it. The extra torque, the bridging, sending the kneecap backwards. Channing, no other alternative but to tap and escape before any further damage was done. The Dimepiece, Aaron Rourke, picking up a great victory in a great matchup. What a contest, not letting up despite taking the onslaught punishment from World Class. And let me tell you, man, he lived up to that name, World Class, here tonight as he took on WWE ID Superstar. But Aaron Rourke looking to cement his position amongst the roster here in the WFA. We're going to see a whole lot more of him very soon. So if you're not yet, make sure you subscribed. And again, next week, ladies and gentlemen, WFA Heavyweight Championship matchup. Diego Alvarez challenges the champion, Mosh Pit. You don't want to miss it. We'll see y'all next week.